Night. And no, we ain't in Kansas anymore. Man. All right, let's see if we can get a computer screen going here. And if you guys can hear me, see me, you know why I'm ducking my head. It's one of those nights. All right. I'm waiting for my screen. Let's try it. Up here it comes. All right, I can see me. And let's see, Jacob, Texas Sass, Amish at Heart, Lorna, 5x5, Chris Meyer, Janet, Robert, Country Humans Network. Okay, now it's going crazy. All right, you guys can see me. All right, welcome to Saturday night, hat night, as usual. Finally, after 6 weeks of waiting, it's a homebrew night. So, homebrew Czech Pilsner. So, enjoy one of those. So, sit down, grab a libation, have a little bit of fun tonight. We'll go into it, but how the hell did that happen? We just dropped 200 people all of a sudden. Nope, now we went back up 300. Okay, all right, whatever it would be. Okay, so interesting things today. To all those of you that were affected by the storms yesterday, my prayers for all of you. I hope to God damage wasn't bad. We got whacked pretty hard about 4 o'clock this morning. Mrs. P was up all night, and then I got up. We kind of rotated, and paying attention to what was going on, calming down the dogs. And nothing like being a fur baby parent, right? But then we got a nice little respite from the storm this morning, so I got out and planted 18 evergreen trees today. So anybody that lives in Tennessee, or well, you guys know what I'm talking about. Anybody thinking of doing here, make sure one of your preps is a jackhammer. Because digging through Tennessee clay, I mean, try to get a foot down into the soil here. And you guys know what I'm talking about that live here. It's like digging through concrete. But so, yeah, that 18 trees doesn't sound like a whole lot until you got to jump up and down on a shovel trying to get down 2 inches. But so that was that. Got that done. Started doing a little bit of the work around the backyard. Grass is finally starting to come in a little bit in spots. I had asked you guys about, a week or so ago about what plants to send, and I wanted to say thank you. One of y'all sent me this, which is a whole big list of different perennial plants to grow that are native to North America, and sent me seeds for all of them. Okay, a lot of these I've never even heard of. I had to go look most of them up. A couple of them I got. A couple of them I'm not going to grow. But thank you for all the ideas. I've been going through creating a list of everything, and Mrs. P and I have been kind of going through and picking out what and where and what'll fit and what we want and what's not conducive for being here. I mean, plants that are poisonous to dogs, not a good idea for us. So looking through, but thank you for all of that. News-wise, couple of things. Today being April Fool's Day, right? This was the supposed Day of Vengeance that was supposed to be in Washington, D.C. that got canceled because, they were so worried about the violence. Well, if you saw what happened up in Canada, Canada still had it. And there was a story on video on a peaceful protester who was being interviewed by a media personality, a media person, let's put it that way. And some gender confused person comes up and F you, F you, F you through the whole video as the guy's being interviewed. And finally at the end, lunges at the guy's throat and bruises him and bloodies him and everything. This was a guy attacking another guy. I don't care if he wants to wear a dress, he's still a guy. But the violence, let's take a look again which side it's coming from. Yeah, okay, so just saying, okay. Guy was stating his beliefs. It's fine, okay? So you're going to attack him for it. Yeah. Granted, it's Canada, but just be on the lookout. The other one that came out this evening, maybe an hour or so before we went live here, everybody's favorite, the CDC, has now put out a worldwide warning on the Marburg virus after you have a deadly outbreak in Africa, in Guinea, and in Tanzania. Isn't it ironic that we're going into presidential election season? Okay. So just get ready. You know it's going to become, as Mrs. P made the comment, is, yeah, they're ready to put a leash on us again. So we'll be doing this again. Yeah, that sort of fun stuff. God. So, yes, of course, there's nothing like the powers that be trying to control humanity. And we'll go, is it a camera in my hat? No, it's a flake from something. There we go. All right, there we go. Happy? No, I'm not spying on you. I'm filming me, filming you, filming me, filming you. There we go. So, but yeah, those are the kind of the two big things that happened today, other than the fallout from the storm. I hope all of you guys on the East Coast have made it through the remnants of it. All I know is we had 50-mile-an-hour winds here this afternoon. It was blowing trees all over the place. A huge oak tree that's down just up the road from me here, up the mountain. And talking to Mr. and Mrs. Mountaintop Preps, they said they had a few trees down on their property today. Fortunately, I didn't lose any trees. The house is still intact. That's a good thing. But yeah, there's a whole lot of people that are hurting out there, guys. So, again, I'll say the same thing. If you can, Bear Independent or Ryan Hall Y'all are a couple of places that I would recommend you go donate if you feel compelled to help whoever, whatever area they're going to wind up going to, because God knows there's enough to choose from. Because, I mean, these tornadoes hit everywhere. Was it Wisconsin, Iowa, Illinois, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, Kentucky, Tennessee. At least, I don't know if there was, I know there were tornado warnings in Indiana. I don't know if any hit there. I know Ohio got bad. I don't know if there were any tornadoes. Again, I went to bed at 10 o'clock last night. And the storms at that point were just, they were, on a line from, say, Chicago down through Nashville. So, 3 o'clock in the morning, I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to get some sleep. I got about 6 hours sleep last night, and that was the extent of that. So, but that was the excitement. So, all right, so let's see what we got in here. We have right now 2,271 people. I'm surprised. I thought we'd be over 3,000 for this one, but okay, that's fine. That's less people is more chance, better odds for you guys, right? Patrice is saying Sullivan, Indiana was demolished. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard from my daughter. I heard from my cousin, but I don't think the storms hit up to Fort Wayne that bad. So we'll see what happens. But for anybody that was affected by this, my prayers certainly, and Mrs. P's prayers certainly go out to you here. Hopefully, Bear, Ryan, or somebody like that will be able to come to your community or whatever. Just they have the resources, they have the people, they have everything like that to do it. As much as I'd love to help, guys, I don't have those kind of resources to do things like that. Brandy, thank you for the super chat. Let me see. Firm believer that these storms aren't normal for this time of year nor any part of the year. Be well, all technology far too advanced along with weather changing ability. Actually, they are normal. I mean, this is springtime. This is tornado season. So that was a lot of tornadoes. And you guys got to remember, we're in the middle of a grand solar minimum. So we're going to have wild weather events. And, this isn't going to be the only one. You're probably going to see more crazy weather like this year. But we are in springtime. It's tornado season. I mean, the ones in December were weird. Okay. But, here it is. It's April 1st. This is tornado season. So we'll see what happens. I'm not saying that can't be weather manipulation or anything like that for it. I'm not discounting that at all, but springtime is tornado time. So, all right. Why a whole bunch of you are here, I know that. For those of you that actually paid attention to the whole garage video, if you got to the end, you realize what we're going to do here in a couple of minutes. And we are going to give away a EcoFlow Delta Pro. This is the big one, guys. This is the 3,600 watt, 100-pound solar generator. This is the one that I'm hooking up 2 of them to my electrical panel in my house for my backup power for I won't say my entire house, for 10 circuits in my house, that I can run my water heater, my water pump, lights throughout the house, whatever it would be. Personally, I'm trying to save the money to get solar panels to put on the garage. I mean, things like that. I mean, not saying it's cheap, okay? I mean, though, by the time all's said and done with this, I'll be out of this for under 10 grand, not including installation. And thank you for Princeton for offering to help me in this. I'm taking you up on that one. But yeah, because I think I told you guys I had some guy quote me $10,000 to put 8 solar panels on a garage. It's like, you're smoking crack, dude. But yeah, so this is the big solar generator. This is the one that'll run practically anything that's 120 in your house. Well, it will run anything that's 120 in your house. There's no question. I mean, you could plug a refrigerator, a coffee pot, a toaster, a hair dryer, God knows, and a space heater to it all at the same time, and it'll all run. No big deal. But again, it's limited. It's only going to run for so long. So telling you that. But this is the big one. As I said in the video, if you guys are in the market for this, for an EcoFlow Delta Pro, or for a second one, if you want to get that 240 volt capacity, Elliot has a deal for us for $600 off. That's cheap. Okay. I wish I knew that when I bought mine, because I saved myself some money. But I got them, and that's all that matters. Okay. So we'll go into the drawing here in a second. A couple of things. I screwed up in the video yesterday. Okay. And I'm not going to hold you guys accountable for this. You know, when I usually do these videos or giveaways, that the stipulations are you must be in the contiguous 48. I said that. That is true. And I say to enter, you have to enter the name of the state in which you live in, and whatever my second question was. In this case, yesterday, named something that was hanging on the wall or on one of the shelves. I did not say in the video that a valid entry had to have the state in which you live in. So I'm not going to hold anybody accountable to that. I noticed a few of the comments did not have that in there. And I'm like, did I say it? I don't remember it. And I went back and watched the video, and I did not. So as long as a valid entry for tonight will just have to have something that was on the shelves. Again, you're going to have to live in the contiguous 48. All right. So when you reply, if I call your name, I mean, if it's going to be real simple, if somebody says Virginia and handsaw, no big deal. Okay. But if it's just handsaw, what I will need you to reply, I'm here and I live in Ohio or Kentucky or Oregon or wherever it would be. Because what I don't want to have happen is somebody say, oh, I'm here, and it turns out they live in Sri Lanka. Okay, I can't send that. You know, Elliot's not going to send it there, so I don't want to do that. So make sure that when you comment tonight, I'm here and I live in Virginia or whatever state you live in. The other thing I'm going to ask when we draw this, guys, I say this every time, please, 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 please cease all comments. Okay, there's 2,400 of you guys in here right now watching, and y'all know that the ticker goes like crazy, or the chat room goes like a slot machine, you know, it's just, even though I've got slow mode on. Person who I call has 3 minutes to announce that they are here. There's a 90-second delay. The mods and I are looking for that person's name, and if the chat is going like crazy, we can't see the name. If we don't see it, that person can't comment again for another 90 seconds. I'm saying, you don't want it to happen to you. Please don't do it to anybody else. So when I go to draw the name, when I say, and the winner is, please stop all comments unless you are the winner. Now, I haven't done this yet, but I can always do it. is tell the mods that if people aren't going to follow that rule, we can put them in a 300-second timeout. That's 5 minutes. Guess what? If I draw your name, you can't respond, and then we'll just move on. So please, that's one very important rule to follow. That's just respecting me and the mods for this one. So that's what I'm asking. All right, so let's get into this. Flip this over, and doink. Let me blow this up again so you guys can see that I'm doing this. Here, maybe, there we go. That's too big. Guess that's close enough. All right, so I have the yesterday's video link right here where my mouse is. We are not including replies to comments. Remember, this always has to be a primary comment, okay? We are filtering out duplicate users. Everybody only gets one entry, so that's it. All right, and I have to do my math problem. Let's see how many comments we have, or how many entries. Whether or not they're valid, we don't know. But ticking on along, I think we only 1,740. See, that tells me how many people didn't watch the whole video. It's why I don't put it in the description or in the title or whatever, because then that just attracts all the scammers. But you need to pay attention to the videos because you never know what I'm going to throw in there. So let's see. And if we go down here, guys, ready? Okay, guys, hold all your comments. Remember, if you're commenting now and I pick your name, you're already 90 seconds on the delay. So here we go. All right, and picking the winner. Dun, dun, dun. Rebecca Chase. Your garage is looking great. I don't know the names of all those tools on the wall, but I recognize a little orange-colored level. Some wrenches, saws, chisels, caulking gun, etc. Oh, and I live in Arizona. Well, I guess that works. So, Rebecca Chase, are you here? Let's flip this back over so you're not looking at crazy stuff. All right, looking for Rebecca Chase. It is 9:17. Rebecca, you have until 9:20 to let us know you are here. We know you're in Arizona, so all you have to say is I'm here. And my apologies for looking at half my face because I'm looking behind the computer trying. There she is. I am here and still in Arizona. All right. Congratulations, Rebecca. You are the winner of a brand new EcoFlow Delta Pro and a 400-watt solar panel. So, yay. There we go. So, it'll run a small air conditioner for Arizona, so you're okay there. You know, it's not going to run your whole house. It's not going to run an HVAC system, guys. But you got a window unit, it'll do that. Or one of those EcoFlow waves, runs great for that. So, all right, Rebecca, congratulations. What I need you to do is over this evening, send me your name, your physical mailing address, because Elliot will send this to you via FedEx, and I need your phone number, okay? Not that anybody's going to call you, but it's for FedEx tracking, so we can do that just in case there's a problem. All right, so let me get set up. All right, back to where I can see my computer and I'm not looking around everything. And I'm going to partake. Why did my screen just freeze up? All right. Quick one, guys. Give me a 5x5 if you can still see me and hear me. My computer froze up. Okay. All right, you guys are all saying 5x5. There we go, coming back. All right. Let's see, so I can see that my screen actually tells, I can see me do that. Wow. Come on, computer, show me my screen. All right. Y'all can hear me. All right, at least the chat's working. There we go. Okay, now I can finally see my fingers. Okay. All right, I'm probably on a 30-second delay on my own computer. How about that one? All right, so let's get into, now we're 20 after 9 already, the normal Q&A for tonight. Guys, if you're new here, what we do on Tuesdays and Saturdays, this is all Q&A. This is for you guys to ask me questions, ask each other questions, problems you're having, things you're trying to figure out yourself. We got a plethora of information all in our heads here, and we're sharing it. That's kind of the whole point of doing all this. So if you have a question for me, please put it in all caps. That way I can sift through the chat a lot quicker looking for the ones that are in all caps. But feel free to have conversations amongst yourselves, and absolutely watch the chat for answers to your questions, because sometimes I don't get to a question, or sometimes somebody's got the answer before I get to your question, or God forbid, I don't know everything. So maybe somebody else knows something I don't. The only thing I do require, guys, is that everybody treat each other with respect in here. I don't care if you disagree. Disagreement's fine. All right. But no name calling, no, you're an idiot, that's stupid, whatever would be. That'll get you tossed out of here real quick. And I thank all my mods who've all been with me. I think almost all of them have been with me for more than 2 years at this point. And I wouldn't trade them for $1 million, because they have kept this place immaculate, and it's what makes it a good place for all of us to get together. All right, so let's get into this. Let me get back up to the top after all the 5x5s here. Okay. Lieutenant Frank driving pinball. You and Mrs. P need another garage, right? No, I don't need any more buildings. Hopefully I'm done. The only thing Mrs. P possibly wants is a sauna, a banya. Okay, for those of you guys that know what a Russian banya is, basically it's a sauna. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. Okay, between building a smokehouse, building a shed, building a garage, I think I got enough outbuildings on the property. I'm good. Okay. Dick Fleissner, what is my favorite camo pattern? There's a good question. I'm still, and again, I'm going to go back to what I know. I'm going to go back to the old Army BDU camo pattern. The computerized, digitized one, even the Army got rid of that because it was junk. Okay, but I'm going to go back with the old BDU Army camo pattern, just for the simple reason, not the tiger stripes, or anything like that. The traditional Army, 4-color, black, brown, tan, and green camo pattern, depending on where you are. Okay, now, I mean, if you live in Arizona, the desert camo, same pattern, okay, just in tans and browns, is going to be better. For where I am, traditional Army camo. That would be the way I'm going to go. Susan Musser, pinball, will the big Delta Pro hook up to the solar panels on my roof? Provided you have MC4 connectors, yes. And provided you don't go over the voltage, and I think and you shouldn't. The solar panels on your roof should be under 150 volts. You may have to change the wiring a little bit, but they will work with basically, I think EcoFlow even says 90% of solar panels. So what I'd suggest, if you want to make sure, is call up EcoFlow and say, I've got Canadian solar panels, this model, will it work? And they'll tell you. But the big key is to have the MC4 connector, because then there's a specific wire that you get from EcoFlow. It's like $25. It's got an MC4 connector on one side. It's got the plug that you plug into the Delta Pro on the other side. Obviously, I know because I've got them. And that's all it takes. So, Elaine Pruden, are all the EcoFlows pass through, so when the power comes back on, they start to recharge? Yes. Even the tiny little river that I showed you guys, maybe about a month ago, 3 weeks to a month ago, I've got that one hooked on as a pass-through on my security system and on my Wi-Fi. So if the power goes out, because it flickered like 4 times with this windstorm, it automatically kicks right. It's in milliseconds. I mean, it's instantaneous, and it automatically kicks right to the battery in there. So yes, they are all pass through. Kathleen Maddox, Pinball, is there a generator that will run an HVAC system? In talking to electricians, because I've got to get somebody to install the smart panel to do this, the Delta Pro would run my HVAC system, okay? Not one of them, okay? Two of them would run it. I'd need to have the 4 extra batteries, and then it would run my HVAC system for about 5 hours, okay? That's what you're looking at. They have the capacity they have the capability to do it. It becomes a capacity issue, because if I'm looking at what, 72 to 20, 21, 23,000 watts or whatever it is, your HVAC system pulls a lot of power, especially if you're like me on electric heat, or anybody on air conditioning. The technology really, I know people would say, oh, you get a Tesla power wall or something like that. You're going to have a boatload of batteries, and the portable, like the Delta Pros and stuff like that, even at max capacity with 2 Delta Pros and 4 extra generators, it would do it. It's just not going to be able to run for 24 hours. You're not going to be able to heat your house like what we had for Christmas off of them. It's just not possible. So can it be done? Sure. You can have a whole battery bank put in there with I don't know, pick, batteries. I mean, if you want to do car batteries or lithium ion batteries, or, lithium iron phosphate batteries or whatever, yes, it can be done, but you're going to be spending a boatload of money on batteries. In the woods, that's why I don't play the lottery. I can't even win 1 out of 1,700. Hey, somebody's going to, okay? That's half the fun. Look at it this way. It's better than the lottery. You didn't have to buy a ticket. So, all you do is go, gee, I don't know, handsaw, and you're entered. So, 2 seconds of your life that it took to type you, if you're a hunt and peck person, you're good. Nodak, when am I doing price comparisons again for food or groceries? Usually do that somewhere around the 10th of the month. I think I did the original on the 9th of January. So I've been doing 9th or 10th of February and March. I'll do it here again in about 10 days. Kristen Truitt, what is the update on digital currency? It depends on who you want to ask. You want to ask YouTubers? YouTubers will tell you it's tomorrow, okay? The YouTubers are lying to you. You want to ask the federal government? The federal government will say soon, okay? And that could be 2070. We're nowhere close, guys, all right? Again, I've explained a million times why this is not feasible. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think I'm going to see it in my lifetime. Or if I do, I'm going to make Joe Biden look young. HJS video. I watched my most recent Rumble video. Is Rumble improving the site for creators? No. It's still a real PIA, and until Rumble gets to the point where they can clear a video for publication a lot faster, it's not going to happen. Everything that they do is anti-creator, and they say, they started out, just to give you this, I think they've backed off on this one, but their idea originally was to do a live stream on Rumble. The creator had to pay them $25. Really? Okay. You're getting all the traffic, you're running all the ads, and I've got to pay you? No. So you're not going to see much out of me on Rumble at all. Trust me. Okay. So I'm there just in case. Okay. But It's not somewhere that you need to go, oh, I got to check out, see if he put up anything on Rumble today. If I put up anything on Rumble, chances are I told you here, and the only reason I'm going to go put up something there is because I know it's something that Google won't let me talk about. Half bubble off plum. Is it good to plant blueberries near pine trees or pine tree stumps in 9A? Okay, I can't answer the 9A part at all, so I don't know that. And I can't see why it would be, I mean, again, I can't see why it would be a bad thing because blueberries like acidic soil and green pine needles are acidic. Okay, once the pine needles turn brown, they're no longer acidic, guys. So anybody tells you don't pine needles on your gardens, that's wrong. Okay, once they've died, they're turned brown, they're not acidic. But if they're green, they are. So, you know, if you get green pine needles falling on the ground around blueberries, blueberries are going to be happy. So the issue that, of course, you get is now you're competing for nutrients and competing for root space, and the tree has much bigger roots. The tree is going to suck up a lot more of that water and the nutrients out of the ground than the blueberries can. That's the only downside. But if you're good about your fertilization and your watering with it, you shouldn't have any problems. Whoops, we shot to the bottom. Okay. Here we go. Flint McRock. I have lots of marble-sized tomatoes on my very young plants. Should I pinch them off? If you've got tomatoes that are this big, yeah, pinch them off. Okay, you shouldn't be worried about getting fruit on tomato plants until they're about 3 feet high. If you've got little ones already, take them off and let the plant grow, because all that's going to happen is the plant is going to put all its energy into growing that teeny tiny little tomato, and it's not going to grow a plant. And so you're going to get a teeny tiny little tomato and nothing else. Let it grow into a plant and then fruit. Susie D, Pinball, how big do I need a generator for running my central air conditioning? I can't answer that without knowing how big your central air is, but as I just said a little bit earlier, don't even bother trying to don't bother trying to buy a solar setup to run your HVAC system. It's not prudent. It's not economical. I mean, there isn't a generator setup that's big enough. I think the Mango E is the biggest one that's out there right now, and that wouldn't do it. Okay, that might do it for 7 hours, and then you're going to spend 12 trying to recharge it. You're better off. In that case, I mean, I showed you guys the EcoFlow Wave. Oh God, it's got to be a year ago already, which was that portable solar air conditioner. That would be the way I go if you're worried about AC, okay? Because that will cool down a room quickly, and that could, again, think about this. If we're talking about your house, all right? In an SHTF situation, or even if it's just a weather situation, the power's out. It's the power's out and it's hot. What are y'all going to do? You're all going to. Mrs. P and I would be probably in the family room. I don't need to be air conditioning the upstairs bedrooms or something at the time. But if it's nighttime and now we want to go up to the upstairs bedroom, I take the portable air conditioner, I put it in the bedroom, and then I'm there. Okay, so think practicality as well. You don't need to cool your entire house. Patty G, when storing canned goods, is it okay to stack them? Okay, if you're talking about ball jars or something like that, no. Okay, do not ever stack your jars on top of each other for home canning stuff. For canned goods, as in you went and bought a flat of Del Monte green beans or whatever, those are fine to stack, okay? But home canned stuff, never stack that stuff. 615 Entertainment Agency, do I have any shorts? Glad you put the second part in. It's like, yeah, it's not warm enough for me. Video show. No, I don't. I don't. I'm not. You guys don't care enough for me to make a 20-second snippet. Hi, this is what I had for lunch today. Okay, if I'm going to spend the time to put up a video, I'm gonna need more than 20 seconds to give you whatever pertinent information there is. The only thing I'd ever consider doing a short for is, like I said, guys, I got a video over on Rumble you might want to go check out. That would be about the only thing I'd ever think would be worthwhile for. Personally, I don't see the purpose why YouTube rolled it out. I think it's kind of stupid. If I want to put a 20-second video like this, regular video, I can put a 20-second video. Why does it have to be a short? Oh, because it's cell phone friendly. I don't care. Okay, that's your problem, not mine. I mean, yours is in Google's, not mine. Steve Williams, food and gas has jumped in Southwest Ohio this week. Shrinkflation is bad. Yeah, gas went up 20 cents here in the last couple of days. It was actually caught a break. I actually filled the truck the day before gas went up. Usually it works the other way around. But yeah, we're starting to see it again. I don't know if we're getting into summer blend yet. I think we're a little early for that. But prices, Bidenflation, guys, is real. People don't want to believe it, but it's real. Like I said before, I said when a barrel of oil right now is less than it was at the end of Trump's administration, but a gallon of gas is $1 more. You figure it out. Okay. Diesel Doc, hey Pinball, Orthodox icons. Yes, that's what those are back there. Mrs. P is Russian Orthodox. Okay. Last Boy Scout, can you or Ahmad post the link to buy this Delta Pro generator in the discount code? It's in the description under the Man Cave video yesterday. So if you just go look there, there's the link, there's the discount code. Easy enough. Jim Steiner, this is why we prep. Rural Pennsylvania, no electricity due to storms, water stored. Yep. I mean, that's it. The power goes out, because I always see the lights flicker in the house. It's like, okay, are you going to come back on? I'll wait. It's like, all right. And, it never fails. It's like, okay, I'll go grab this. I'll plug in the refrigerator. And as soon as I get everything plugged in, the power comes back on. But it's all right. It's fine. The nice part about it, at least for me, guys, is I don't freak out. I don't go, oh shit, we got no power. What are we going to do? I'm just, all right, I just go grab this, go grab this. I mean, I know exactly where everything is, plug it in, turn on a couple of lights, and I'm good. There's no worry. It's just, I'm fine. Karma Patriot, I don't know what renminbi is, so I can't answer your question. Let's see. Nodak, what is my opinion on the long game for the Trump indictment? Personally, I don't think he'll ever see a jury. I think as soon as the case is brought, he'll get arraigned on Tuesday, like it is, and as soon as it goes to court, there's going to be an immediate move to dismiss the case. And I don't know, what do you want to dismiss the case on? The fact that the statute of limitations is gone, the fact that the DA doesn't have the jurisdiction to bring these charges, and personally, I mean, unless something crazy comes out. I mean, if this is all about the Stormy Daniels stuff, okay, it's getting thrown out. It'll never see the light of day in court. If there's something else in the indictment that we don't know about, that's different. Okay, and I know there's rumors. CNN is, of course, out saying, well, this is about business dealings in New York or whatever it is. Okay, if that's what it is, that's a total different animal. But we'll see what happens. The fact that they have a sealed indictment, that just too much stinks in this whole thing. That's all it is. Why do you have a sealed indictment? What's he being charged with? He's a presidential candidate. The rest of the world has a right to know that. But no, of course they're not going to tell us. Ed, thank you for the super chat. I think the Trump mugshot T-shirt would be the biggest selling shirt of all time. I agree. He's going. If there's a mugshot, he's going to use that picture for a campaign ad. There's no question about that. Let's see. Where am I? Bear with me. I got lost in the screen here. Yeah, the computer. I'm sorry, my computer is being completely foobar. Somebody just sent a $20 super chat, which I greatly appreciate, and I don't see the super chat whatsoever in the chat anywhere if I go all the way to the end. So I can't even see it. So my apologies. Mad Max, will the solar panels be affected by an EMP? Your guess is as good as mine. Okay. I'd assume yes. Okay. But again, where are you in relation to the EMP? How far away? If it's directly overhead, probably. Okay. If it's 300 miles away, maybe. If it's 1,000 miles away, who knows? That's the hard part with the EMP stuff is there has never been one, so we don't know what the effectiveness of it is. What's gonna, people say, oh, like the movie one or the book 1 second after, all the cars stopped until everybody tells you now it's like, well, the cars are pretty much hardened for it. It wouldn't matter. We don't know. So I can't live my life on, oh, gee, I can't do this because it might happen here. I'm going to put it up and whatever happens works, because are my chances greater having the power go out because of a storm or because of the Chinese EMP? One way or the other, the power is going to go out. Okay. If I get it through 6 storms and then I lose it from a EMP, it is what it is. Yeah, we are having serious internet problems. Mammy, I see, sent me the email here. I'm trying to see if I can open it. I thank you for that. But it's a matter of whether or not I can even open the email. Because I'm guessing, I'm betting we've got some internet issues out here today. Oh, there's that $20. Leo Miranda Castro. Okay, thank you. At West Central Georgia, just planted a lot of beans, tomatoes, peppers, and many other things. Thanks for all the things you share with us. Well, good. Okay, I'm glad you got stuff planted. I hope to God everybody's getting stuff planted, guys, because as you start to look at the price of fresh food, I mean, if you've even tasted the stuff in the grocery store, don't even bother buying fruit in the grocery store, okay? Apples, plums, pears, anything like that. They're hard as a rock and there's no taste to them, Vegetables, who knows what chemicals are on them, right? And I'm not one of these people that goes, oh my God, I've got to have organic food and everything like that. I think organic food is the biggest crock of bullshit in the world. I swear to God, there's a guy sitting in the back going, he's got a case of green beans, goes, regular pile, organic pile, regular pile, organic pile. That one's $1 more a pound. I swear that's how it works. It's just a way for them to make more money. Okay. But I know where my food comes from. I know what it's been fertilized with. I know what's in the soil. I know how it was taken care of. And it tastes a whole lot better. When I throw an ear of corn in boiling water for dinner, it's been off the stalk for 2 minutes. Mrs. P and I were at Walmart about a week ago and she saw 4 ears of corn, frozen corn, $3.69 for 4 ears of frozen corn. I mean, obviously we didn't buy it. I'm like, it's like 90 cents an ear of corn. Are you freaking kidding me? It's $5 for $1 or whatever, and I mean, I grow my own. We've still got a bunch of corn on the cob sitting in the freezer. We just had some for dinner the other night. Tastes great. It's out of our garden. Deborah Jones, is my garage floor coated with anything? No, it's just concrete. Because of what I use it for, because it's a garage / workshop, I know I'm going to get paint on there or something, or stain or something like that. I don't concern myself with, putting the pretty epoxies or those rubber pads or anything like that on there. It's like, if I get some paint on there, I'll go to paint scraper and scrape it off, and that's it. It's a workshop. It's a garage. It's not, my mansion or anything like that. Uh, Beth S. Hi, Pinball. My question is, would you buy ammo online? And if so, who is the most reliable? I buy most of my ammo online just for the simple reason that I can get it in volume, and buying it in volume, I can get it less expensive than I can going to Rural King or Tractor Supply. Nearest Bass Pro Shops is almost 2 hours for me, so I'm not going there. Okay. Uh, and Walmart never seems to have anything in the way of ammo. Uh, where I buy ammo, I get my pistol ammo, my 9mm ammo from Midway USA, and I get my AR ammo from Freedom Munitions. And you go, that's it? It's like, yeah, because my weaponry is all consistently calibered, if you will. Okay, I don't have 45s and 38s and 9mm and 7.62s and 5.56s and everything like that. I mean, get 22 anywhere. I mean, I've got 30,000 rounds of 22, and who cares? I mean, that you get anywhere. It's cheap. But the other stuff, those are the two places I get them, and I get them those two places because I can consistently find ammo when I want. Usually, when I buy ammo, I buy 500 rounds at a time, just because I can get it cheaper in volume. You know, don't need 500 shotgun shells or whatever it was. I think I've got 200 shotgun shells. That's plenty. You're not going to be walking down the. I always love the movies where guys are walking down the street with a shotgun. It's like, okay, if you've got slugs, maybe you've got a little bit of range, but you're not going to go, hey, look, there's a guy 200 yards out. Let me go with my shotgun at him. You're right. Okay. Even with a pistol, I'm not going that far. But yeah, those are the two places I use. Groundhog, hi Pinball. Have you heard anything of a 26% federal tax credit on wood burning stoves? Tax credit? No, I mean, I figured that would be a tax penalty considering they're trying to get rid of them. Yeah, did you guys hear today? Biden wants to get rid of incandescent light bulbs altogether. Force you to buy LEDs too. Okay, I had to buy light right above us here. Two of the little candelabra lights, $12. Okay, tiny little lights, $12. But no, I haven't heard anything about a tax credit on wood burning stoves. You think they want to get rid of them? They're going to get a tax penalty. So, Starstead, Groom Creek, Arizona. Hello, can you please tell us the right density to plant the sunflowers to clean the soil? Basically, as many as you can get that are going to fill the space. Okay. I mean, if you've got, I again, I can't give you scientific reason, but I'm gonna say this. I'd be planting a sunflower every foot. 1 foot, 1 foot. In north, south, and east, west. 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot. Just as much as I can to suck as much out as I can. Many sunflowers as you can get to grow in whatever space to clean the soil. That's what I get. The more, the merrier. A Statine 85, best time to fertilize a potted fig tree. I don't know. I have 2 fig trees and they are both in the yard. And I fertilize them in the spring with the rest of my fruit trees. Well, spring and fall. For a potted fig tree, I can't answer. I've never had a potted fig. Plain Prepper Fed Now is rolling out Monday. That's great. Fed Now is not CBDC. No matter what everybody tries to tell you, it's not. So Fed Now is just a clearing, if you will, for transactions. It's not. It's a precursor to. It's what CBC would work through. It's like the infrastructure, but it's not CBDC. So and rolling out Monday. I heard July. I don't know where Monday came about, but that could have changed, and I don't know. Sherry Bennett, what do I think about China, Africa, Russia, and Saudi Arabia doing their own currency? I know they're BRICS nations. It's not their own currency, but it's their own economic ties, if you will, together. It's not a one currency thing. It's just they're not going to use the dollar for trade amongst those countries. That's all it's going to be. Okay. Dasha Kai, what's my opinion about those hydroponic garden towers? Does that use lots of electricity? I've never done hydroponics. I really, I know some people swear by them. Okay. But again, I'm going to say this: you do what works for you. I don't see the. I personally, I think it's going to take up way too much resources. I mean, you think of it, you've got to have the whole hydroponic system, even if you build it with, out of PVC pipe and do it yourself or whatever it would be. You've got to have a pump, you've got to have grow lights. All that stuff gets expensive. Okay. Full spectrum grow lights. You know, I can put it outside in dirt that I can make out of scraps and use the sun, which is not expensive. Granted, can I grow in the wintertime? No. Okay. But I grow enough during the summertime to preserve it and store it over the wintertime, just like all our ancestors did. Okay. And the one lovely thing about hydroponics is, what are you going to really grow in there? Try growing potatoes in a hydroponic system. It's not happening. Try growing sweet potatoes. It's not happening. Try growing corn in hydroponics. It's not happening. Okay. You're very limited on what you can grow, and it's very expensive to do it. Let's see. Susan Musser, pinball, we got constitutional carry passed in Florida effective July 1st, 2023. Yes, that adds another state to the mix. Wonderful. Jeffrey, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Lena, thank you, Mr. I'm assuming me, and Elliot for featuring this giveaway and the countless others y'all have done. Yep, I mean, you gotta give Elliot and Wellbats credit. They have really stepped up to the game. I don't know any other company that has come close on any channel as to the amount of deals, offers, giveaways that Wellbats has done with us. So let's see. Chris Rigos, I live in 9A and it's hot. I haven't had much luck. Okay, I'm guessing it's gardening with something, but I don't know what. Susie D, question, is that a grow lamp under a table? You had boards on top. Okay, if you go back and look, back in January, I decided, when I was building the garage, I was originally, the plan was I had put 3 outlets on the ceiling, and I was going to have my greenhouse on the top. And I had an epiphany one day. I'm like, why don't I put it on the shelf below? I can put my lamps underneath the table, put the plastic on the table, keep it nice and self-contained, and then I can still use the table. So they're not grow lamps. They're basically LED shop lamps, but you got to get the lumens and the Kelvin right. I did a video a couple of years ago called Let There Be Light, so you can find out specifically the lights I have in there that are the correct lumens and Kelvin to seed start, not to fruit, not for fruiting plants. Okay, I can grow lettuce under there or something like that, but I couldn't grow tomatoes under there. Okay, just saying, you're not going to get any fruit with just white light. But it's good. It gives the right energy to start seeds and to get them growing so I can plant them outside, but they're not going to fruit. So they're not grow lamps, but they work as seed starting lamps. Witwit's World, have I ever grown onions in pots? Is it a good or a bad idea? I've never done it. I mean, if you've got a big enough pot, I mean, you'd have to have one that is, oh God, probably at least a couple feet wide, at least a 2 foot, 2.5 foot diameter to do it, to make it worthwhile. I certainly wouldn't be planting one onion in one little pot. Uh, that I don't think would be worthwhile. But yeah, I don't see any reason why it couldn't be done. Uh, James Redden, any recommendations on growing cucumbers? Can't seem to get them to fruit. If you can't get them to fruit, my guess is your soil is very weak in phosphorus. There is a good product. Actually, Danny over at Deep South Homestead turned me onto this, uh, called Dr. Earth's Magic Bloom. It's a high phosphor. It's a basically a phosphorus fertilizer. I put that around your cucumber plants. That will help them produce the fruit. You know, phosphorus and okay, phosphorus is good for fruiting. Potassium is good for root development, and nitrogen is good for green leaf development. Okay, so just so you have an idea what each of the NPK is good for. But if you can't get them to fruit, my guess is you got a phosphorus deficiency. Uh, Chris Rigos, my 10,000 watt dual fuel generator runs my entire home. Sure, and again, like I said, you can do it, but you got the fuel. You're not trying to run it off as solar, okay? And a battery can only handle so much capacity, where your dual fuel generator is constantly producing that power. A solar generator doesn't produce the power, it's collecting it. Your dual fuel generator is a great idea until you can't get fuel, and then it's just a big lawn ornament. So, not saying there's anything wrong with them, okay, whatsoever. I'm just saying in an SHTF situation, when you can't get fuel anymore, they're useless. If we can't get sunshine anymore, don't worry about living because we ain't gonna be around long. CA Sown, shade cloth pole and guide cable versus greenhouse versus cost. I guess that's up to you. It depends on what. I mean, there's way too many variables in there. Okay, if you're talking about a shade cloth pole and guide cable, I'm guessing you are probably down south somewhere. Uh, so now again, what are you talking about? Just putting shade cloth up over an area is not going to let you grow in the winter. A greenhouse will let you grow in the winter. So you're comparing apples and oranges there, at least to me. Deb Crange, thank you for educating us on solar generators and your generosity and giveaways. I'm educating you with what I know. Okay, I'm no expert or anything like that. I'm learning as I go about all this stuff too. I'm just sharing what I've learned. So, fastball 2611 in East Tennessee. What is the earliest you can put tomatoes in the ground? April or May? My tomatoes go in, and I'm looking at my chart here. They go in about May 15th. So, yeah, in about 2 weeks, I was just telling Mrs. P, 2 weeks from now, we plant. Our cabbage starts go in the ground, our carrot seeds go in, our beet seeds go in, and our seed potatoes go in. So that's April 15th for us. A Statine 85, can we stack empty canning jars though? Yeah, just make sure they're on something sturdy because, if they fall, you got broken glass all over the place. But, empty canning jars are fine. You're not worried about that seal. It's the same reason you take a seal, the ring off your canning jar. You don't want that fake seal on them. Ehide 111, we've read you can stack ball jars with cardboard in between. Is that incorrect? No, it's not. And again, what I was just saying about you don't want that fake seal, you can do that. The problem is you still have a stability issue. And I'm not saying earthquakes or anything like that, but yes, you can. It's just a matter if you're willing to take the risk of everything falling down and breaking, okay? Because you know what's going to happen. doesn't make sense. Trying to get one more here because it's 9:59. Trying to find something. Prayerful EA, your thoughts on the Kenyan president telling his people to get rid of the dollar? Yeah, Kamala's trip to Africa is not going too well, is it? You got Kenya telling people to no longer take the dollar. You've got when Harris wouldn't talk about Trump getting indicted. I forget who she was talking to. The other head of state there started chiming in all over the place. You've got a whole lot of countries, guys, right now, just to be aware with the dollar. Whole lot of countries telling their people to convert their dollars into something else. The dollar is going to collapse. Whether or not people want to believe that, all the people that have their head in the sand, they think, oh, the dollar will exist all the time. The world existed for a long time before the dollar came around, guys. The dollar didn't wind up any big currency in the world until only about 100 years ago, and even if that long, it really didn't become the reserve currency for the most part until World War II or thereafter. And so, you're talking less than 100 years. It's not exactly the history of the world. So, all right, y'all. Tis a Friday, or tis a Saturday night. Tis a wrap. So, y'all have a good evening. We'll see you in the morning, and hopefully nobody has any storms to talk about. Have a good night, guys. Pinball out.